Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Carmine Sabia for Explain America, and former President Donald Trump has got great news on this election day. Before we get started, please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Those little things really help us out, and they help our channel continue to grow. And if you're not watching us on YouTube, please visit that address in the lower right-hand corner. It's youtube.com/@ExplainAmerica, and hit subscribe absolutely free. It really helps us out. First time in history. That's the word, and it's a big word. The first time in history that Republicans in many places, many important places, are ahead of Democrats on early and mail-in voting. Now, that tells you a couple of things. Number one, Republicans have the enthusiasm. That's what it appears. Now, what we have to worry about is that we didn't cannibalize our election day vote. What does that mean? It means that did we get people voting early that would have voted on election day but just voted early instead? If that's the case and there's a lower than expected turnout on election day, which is today, well, then that's depressing and it could be problematic. I don't think that's the case. I think Republicans are enthused. You see long lines across the country. Of course, some of those people are Democrats. But I think Republicans are enthused in this election. And I've gone on to say that I don't think anybody's voting for Kamala Harris. I think they're voting either for Trump or against Trump. I think that's the election. But this Jesse Watters explains why this is really good news for Trump as the hours tick away here, guys. As the hours tick away and we get closer to knowing who our next president's going to be. I want you to watch this video and let me know what you think in the comments.
The history of our country, go and vote.
Harris spent the day in Pennsylvania. She'll be in Philly tonight with Lady Gaga. Celebrities are the only way she can fill seats. Before that, she was going to door knocking for votes. Watch this.
How are you?
Maria?
Hi. Hi. I'm a happy yes. How's it going? It's the day before the election, but I just wanted to come by and say I hope to earn your vote.
Talk about ending the campaign with a whimper. I almost feel bad for her. Both candidates have spent the most time in Pennsylvania. The Keystone State seems to be the key to victory. The race in Pennsylvania, according to the polls, is tied. It's also tied in Michigan and Wisconsin. Harris can't afford to lose any of these states because Donald Trump's ahead by at least a point or two in North Carolina, Georgia, Arizona, and Nevada. It looks close, but the Trump campaign feels good about where they are because of the early vote. For the first time in history, Republicans are ahead in the early vote. That's in person and in mail ballot combined. They're ahead in Arizona, Georgia, North Carolina, and Nevada, and have cut Democrats' early vote lead in Pennsylvania by half. We'll have more inside information about the early vote later in the show, but the Trump campaign says women and urban voters are down from 2020, and rural voters showing up big. The Democrats are counting on a big turnout on Election Day, which historically rarely happens for them. They're relying on enthusiasm tomorrow, but we haven't seen any enthusiasm so far show up in their early vote. And it has David Axelrod worried.
So what I'm worried about is you're counting on some women who are independent Republican women to come out and vote for Harris. Is that going to materialize? Is the gender gap going to be what you need it to be? Are minority voters going to come out in the numbers of African American voters in particular, and are you going to get the margins that you want there? So there are a lot of open questions. This race is filled with uncertainty.
Republicans worked their tails off registering new voters and putting together a ground game over the last few years. And we're already starting to see the results. The polls say the race is tied, but there's still a lot we don't know.
I think the pollsters are getting this wrong. We're all missing something because they're giving us the same poll over and over again. They're telling us we're watching a basketball game where every play is a jump ball. Somewhere, somebody is missing something. I think I'm not going to call it a wave, but I think there's a wavelet out there of Republican enthusiasm and registration.
Wall Street, who pays guys millions of dollars to know things before they happen, is seeing the same thing.
The expectation today is that Donald Trump will win the White House in just a few days. We'll know shortly.
Wall Street isn't always right, though. But even our good friend Chuck Todd is predicting a Trump win.
This is not the beginning of something nor the end of something. We continue to be in the middle of something. We are about to do something we haven't done since the 19th century, and that is we just finished 2 straight one-term presidents. The likelihood of this being a one-term presidency is high, not low, because we are a country that has been voting against. We voted against Hillary Clinton in 16 and got Trump. We voted against Trump in 20 and got Biden. I think this is another vote against election, not a vote for.
This race